If you're like me, recently you might have gotten a bunch of videos about Asakusa in Tokyo, Japan. And if you've never been here before, you might be wondering, I've never heard of this place before. Welcome to Asakusa. Asakusa is pretty much one of the only neighborhoods in Tokyo that has a really more older vibe of Japan. So it has things like shrines and temples, most notably Sensoji and Kaminarimon, that's located in the very front entrance of Asakusa. And just some of the fun things that you might get to enjoy if you end up coming here. This is more of a casual guide on Asakusa because I like to bring a very local, uncut perspective on just how I feel about recommendations inside the city as a person that lives here, and I'm basically just going to be explaining it like a friend. We just changed into the outfits and now we're going to explore Asakusa. So to start off, where even is Asakusa? Asakusa is located near the Asakusa station and it has a line running of Ginza line and Asakusa line. About 5 to 7 minutes walk from Asakusa, you will be able to see Kaminarimon. So right as you see Kaminarimon, this is basically like the entrance to Asakusa. It is a landmark temple gate with a huge lantern at the front, and you can see everyone just making their way into the streets of Asakusa. And right as you make your way through these gates, you're going to be met with Nakamose Dori, which is a street filled with a lot of different sweet shops, a lot of different parlor stands and cafes, and they also have souvenir shops. And personally, my favorite is some of the kind of local food stalls that you can find here. In my personal opinion, the reason that people like to visit Asakusa is because they can enjoy a lot of the things that you can find already within the city of Tokyo. Nothing is new, like there's a lot of cafes and different shops and gift shops and stuff like that. But the reason that they come to Asakusa is because they can enjoy it while enjoying this kind of older vibe scenery. It just hits you with a wave of nostalgia and it feels like you're back in the past. And for a lot of people that don't get the time to visit Kyoto, Asakusa can be a great way to kind of enjoy that traditional ambiance. One of the first things that I absolutely have to recommend if you end up coming to Asakusa is obviously renting a kimono. When you're renting a kimono, you can also get your hair done, so they can give you little accessories and little bows to put in your hair. And it's just such a fun experience because if you want to take pictures with friends, if you're going like as a couple, there's so many things that you can do in Asakusa, but doing them while you're wearing this traditional attire is just so fun, and it just brings such a valuable experience that you can hold as a memory while you're visiting Tokyo. Another thing that I absolutely have to recommend is definitely the sweets here. I'm a very sweets person. I love desserts. I love pudding. One of the things that I loved about Asakusa is the variety of sweets that they provide. And these are just some of my recommendations if you want some inspiration on what to get for food here. So some of the sweets that I would definitely recommend trying while coming here is these giant melopons that satisfy really every craving and every sweet tooth. And they also have some viral creme brulee styled roasted sweet potatoes. These are just, look at how exquisite they look. They are so good. The classic Japanese delicacies like daifuku or parfaits that you can really see anywhere on the streets on Nakamose Dori, or for a more traditional flavor, I would really recommend either matcha crepes or matcha lattes. And this is another personal one that I really wanted to go to. It's called Taito Romankan, and it's basically a place that sells soda floats and little drinks that look literally incredible, and they have pudding crepes. And the icing on the cake is really these pudding crepes. They look so magnificent and good. Oh my goodness. And also this place serves as a rental service for the attire as well, so you can kind of do both while you're in the store. Some of the more general things to do in Asakusa would be to enjoy like a event or a festival, because they regularly have those at Asakusa. It's a place that hosts a lot of different events like the Cherry Blossom Festival and just different events throughout the year. And also taking a stroll on one of the many streets that they have in Asakusa. Again, a lot of the architecture in Asakusa really has this older vibe that you really can't see anywhere in Tokyo, especially for it being so central. Asakusa is only around 30 to 35 minutes depending on where you're coming from. But for Asakusa being so close to the core of the city, if you really like this older vibe, you'll just not regret walking along the streets here, being able to see other families and other friends, people with their loved ones in Asakusa, just roaming around with their kimonos. And yeah, it's just a really peaceful ambiance, and I would really highly recommend to just take a couple of hours in a day when you're exploring Asakusa, just to make sure you get a feel for the neighborhood. You know, you're not rushing or anything. Asakusa is a very peaceful place, and it's just worthwhile to kind of stop and enjoy and relax and get to visit all the city has to offer. Although you can find it in other places in Tokyo, obviously, just eating more traditional foods while you're in Asakusa is always a great choice. Either ramen, udon, tonkatsu. They have a lot of unagi don here as well, if you guys are interested in some seafood. And if you're in the mood for something light, not too heavy while you're walking around, they also have food stalls like takoyaki stands. They have shave ice and yakisoba that you'll be able to find just kind of walking around, and very kind of generic Japanese foods that are still really good, and you can find them within Asakusa even if it's not in the city center. So personally, I really like having some more local foods like ramen and takoyaki and stuff like that. And if you get a chance to visit any of the food recommendations that I just gave, specifically the cafes, then while you're walking, you will be able to go through some outdoor markets, see some food stalls, and just really get immersed in this traditional vibe that Asakusa has to offer. And if these type of guide videos interest you, definitely consider subscribing. I vlog and I also make different guides about just casual life here in Tokyo regarding otaku content, anime related content, and just kind of an uncut and unbiased perspective. I know that as people that maybe are planning a trip to Japan or have never been here before, it may be very confusing sometimes to understand kind of like the culture behind certain things and how certain processes work. So I try my best to explain it in a more Western perspective so that people from all over the world can gain a little bit of perspective in how life is in Japan. Hope to see you guys soon. This is Jenny signing off. Bye!